Hi, welcome to Market Minute. We want to talk about how to play the rest of the year, how to get positioned for a nice move in 2024, and then we want to talk a little bit about biotech again. We knocked it out of the park last week with FBIO, Fortress Bio, up over 100% in a week. We still like it. We think it's going to go higher. The market chatter. So on Monday, I called around some of the trading desks to see what was going on. The tone was very positive. They had lots of buyers buying small cap companies, that are beaten up too much, and that the outlook from a lot of these smaller institutional investors was very positive. Makes you want to go the other direction, right? But no, the tone's much better, and this could go for a while. It feels to me like the tax loss selling might have gotten done early this year. Maybe not all of it, but a lot of it. In the short term, the market's moved in a big way based on the inflation report last week. The CPI came in lower than expected. Now it pushes out the Fed to maybe not raise rates anymore at all. And the long bond, the 10-year Treasury and further out, had a nice rally. So we play these events really well. If you follow what we do, you know that a few weeks ago we bought the TLT, and that's been a beautiful mover for us. We took some profits there, and I'll talk a bit more about that in a bit. But the TLTs worked beautifully. We got more exposure in our equities, so we got rid of all of our hedges a few weeks ago and went long. And so this is working out very nicely. We think there's more to come on this seasonal rally. So what are we doing currently? Well, we did reduce that TLT exposure. The 10 years Treasury pulled back from 5% yield to under 4.5%. So that's a big move for Treasury yields. And so we took a little profit there. We want to revisit that at some point and get a bigger position, maybe closer to when the recession actually occurs. The NASDAQ up 14% off the bottom. Big move, right? So it's a little too much, a little too quick. What we did in our NASDAQ position is we hedged it for the short term. We think it may come off a little bit. The biotech stock we talked about last week, Fortress Bio, FBIO, we bought it at $1.35 last Monday. Compelling idea in the biotech space. Had a big move up 100%. We still like it. We think it's a $10 stock. There's a lot of catalysts coming next year. In addition, another catalyst that they have that we probably didn't talk about was Checkpoint. They are a big owner of that company. Checkpoint has their FDA approval date on January 3rd. So on January 3rd, we expect that drug, their cancer drug, to get approval. And we think that stock could bounce in a big way. So this is the Checkpoint stock. You see that early in the year, the stock was well over $7. It's about $2 currently. We think it goes back above $7 on that approval. So a big move that could be coming in Checkpoint. What are we doing between now and year end? We're letting it run. So what we have in the portfolios, we want to see it go. So we're going to hopefully enjoy the seasonal rally. If it rolls over, then we'll get out of the way of it. But for now, we think the sentiment is set up to continue on this path into the year end. And then looking at 2024, what happens from one year to the next is typically the stocks that perform really well, the sectors that perform really well from one year become the worst performers the next, and the worst performers of that previous year become the best performers. So we have 7 stocks this year that did incredibly well. We have 493 stocks in the SP 500 that did not as well, and some down quite a bit. We think it's time to rotate down to those other names and see a nice move in them. So just remember, you probably heard this phrase, dogs of the Dow. That's when you buy the highest yielding stocks in the Dow, and they tend to perform the best. We like Walgreens for that, but we'll have some more between now and year end. Our plan is to pick some more of these off between now and year end and get appropriately positioned for a nice move in 2024. black swan events for whatever reason. So black swan events are something that catches you off guard and knocks the market down. So for whatever reason, in the election years, they have occurred more often than non-election years. So about 25% of the time during an election year, you have a black swan event. So it's not a high probability, but maybe more so likely this year, given what's happening. We see a recession as probable next year. That will likely will occur, probably will hit us sometime in the middle of 2024. Maybe it comes earlier, but sometime next year we'll have a recession. We don't think the Fed's going to be able to cut rates quickly enough to keep us out of recession next year. It'll just happen, and it'll probably be a mild recession, but you never know. The other thing is Taiwan, right? Xi comes over from China, meets with Biden in San Francisco, and what Xi says is that stay out of China's affairs, stay out of their domestic affairs, and that China will, not wants to, but will reunify with Taiwan. So he's given us and Biden a message that likely before the election, that's my words, likely before the election, there's something that's going to occur, or he's going to push really hard to make it occur, either friendly or not friendly. So that's something to keep in mind. So there's risk in the markets, but there's some momentum behind the markets, and you just want to play it now until the momentum rolls over, then we get out of the way of it. Remember, I manage portfolios that are loss averse. We like to defend the downside when the market rolls over, protect our principal in a bear market, do as well as we can in a bear market, not to lose money, and then enjoy the uptrend. So please come to my website, Patrick Adams CFA, sign up for Market in a Minute. And if there's anything that we can do, just go on there and send me a message and I'll get back to you. Take care. Have a great Thanksgiving. Oh, most importantly, the Buckeyes are getting 3.5 points versus Michigan. Take the Buckeyes in 3.5 points. Marvin Harris Jr. is the best player in college football. He'll be the best player on the field on Saturday. Bet the Buckeyes. The points are a gimme. Take care. Have a great Thanksgiving.